So setting up your desk correctly at work is so important. And I've actually had quite a few issues with this because it really affects your lower back if you don't set it up correctly. Now, I generally have issues because I'm 6'4" and therefore most setups are not appropriate for my sort of length. But also I've injured my back a couple of times, which has not helped. As a result of all this, I've actually had to do a lot of research into how to sort of set up a desk appropriately to be able to sit up for hours and hours on end and not get back pain. Now, I still do get back pain, but I've had a lot of these sort of tips given to me from having conversations with people, doing just lots of research, and also spending a bit of money to find out what things actually help. So I hope to sort of condense that all into a short video explaining sort of how you can set up your setup to make it a lot more comfortable and to relieve back pain if you struggle with that at all. So let's get straight into it. Really, all of this kind of pins on what I call the 90-degree rule. So I believe that there are really three key areas that you need to focus on creating a 90-degree angle with your body. So the first really is that we'll start at the bottom. Your feet need to be flat on the floor so that your legs are at 90 degrees when you sit on your chair. So when you first sit down, you need to adjust your seat to achieve this. And from that point, you then have to look at how your arms fall on the desk. If you're shorter, you might find that your desk is a bit too high. And if in this scenario, it's worth getting a footstool so you can move your chair up. Or if you're lucky, you can use a sit-stand desk to adjust the height. If you're a bit taller like me, this can be quite challenging. So I find a lot of chairs are too low to allow my legs to be at 90 degrees. But then a lot of desks are too low for me to have my arms at 90 degrees too. So how do I solve this? The most expensive way, which I have at home and I'm very lucky to have, is an ergonomic sort of chair that goes a lot higher. And then I also have a sit-stand desk so I can adjust it. However, most people don't have that luxury. So for taller people, you can experiment with a few different things. One thing is starting by just putting a cushion on your seat to lift you up a bit. Now that your legs should be sorted, you've got to look at where your arms come to. So you'll likely have to adjust this too. One thing that I did during lockdown at home where I don't have my sit-stand desk, I put some wooden sort of bricks underneath the legs to prop up the desk. So you could use books instead, but it basically allows you to adjust the desk height. Some people sort of choose to have this automatic platform, which is an alternative to a sit-stand desk, that they just put on a normal desk, and it allows you to raise up a sort of little platform where your hands can rest and you can type from, and your screen will move up as well. So that's a slightly cheaper option than a full sit-stand desk. That should cover the first two 90 degrees, which are your legs and your arms. And the final one sort of relates to your eyes and your monitor. So now that you've found the perfect chair and desk height, you need to adjust your monitor so that the top of the monitor is level with your eyes. And to satisfy sort of my 90-degree rule, you need to make sure that you've created a 90-degree angle with the monitor and an imaginary line that joins your eyes to the top of the monitor. So a couple of ways to do this. You could do what I did at my factory when I was sort of temporarily working in an office, which is just find the nearest cardboard box to put a monitor on, and that just increases the height. I did this because I knew my project was finishing soon, so I didn't bother investing in a proper mount. But these are not very expensive on Amazon, so they're worth investing in. And if you want to be a little bit extra like me, you can get a proper sort of dual monitor stand, which allows you to sort of adjust the monitor's position a lot more on the angle. And I'll show you sort of how that works here. So now that you have the three sort of 90-degree rules applied, there are a few just extra bits that you need to consider. So the first really is making sure that your monitor is about arm lengths away. So when you stretch out your arm, your monitor should be just at the end of your fingers. It's also really good to think about lumbar support. A good chair should have this, but if not, it's worth investing in a cushion, sort of like this one. And if you've not got that and you just need a very temporary solution, when I've been to lectures, I've shoved a jumper behind my back just to sort of fill in that gap, and it actually does really help temporarily. The third thing is just to think about your keyboard and your mouse position. So I mentioned this in my video about typing, which you can watch here if you want to. But it's worth thinking about how you rest your hands when typing. So I found that supporting them on my palms rather than on the wrists is much better, because you can last a lot longer. Your wrists are a bit more vulnerable, they've got a lot of veins in them, and it can be a bit more uncomfortable. So that's really the fundamentals of it. So I hope you found that helpful. I've had a little bit of a break because I've been on holiday, started university again, and I actually got engaged recently, so I've been quite busy, but hopefully back to making some more videos. I hope you really enjoyed it. If you did, then feel free to subscribe. I should be uploading some more videos around this sort of area of work, productivity, university, placements. I don't really know. I'm still working on it. So thank you so much for watching, and as always, I'll see you in the next video.